strikes yet in the escalating conflict. Blasts were reported in Tehran, Isfahan, Tabriz and Kashan, with dozens dead and key infrastructure damaged. Israel claims to have killed Iran's armed forces chief Ali Shadmani, striking deep inside the capital. Iran says it has retaliated, launching over 400 missiles at Israel, including 8 in the latest volley. Air raid sirens continue to blare across Israeli cities, with 35 missiles breaching defences. President Trump says he seeks a real end to the war while warning Iran against nuclear escalation. Regional fears are mounting, and US President Donald Trump has, of course, sent his warnings. Information being released from the United States relating to the movement of military assets. Tensions continuing to rise, and a solution to this conflict in the form of a ceasefire not seeming closer after Donald Trump's statements. I'm first going to go to Anat Bernstein-Reich, who is the president of the Israel-Asia Chamber of Commerce, who is joining us from Tel Aviv. Anat, thank you ever so much for being here. Firstly, we hope that you're okay. We know that there have been, of course, waves of strikes overnight. But it seems that the Israeli defences are acting and stopping those attacks. In terms of an offensive, do you think that the Israeli government is looking at the United States now to bring in their heavy weaponry to really make sure that this conflict can be ended as soon as possible and that all Israeli goals and ambitions are achieved?
So first, good evening. Yes, Israel is doing whatever it can in its capabilities, but the US gear is needed to conclude the mission. And I'm sure that they are in discussion now when US will join the operation. And I hope that once it happens, it will bring all of us closer to conclusion of this Operation Rising Lion, as we call it.
Yes, and that's the situation in Iran is concerning for the people living there, but for Israel, this is a targeted attack looking at infrastructure of nuclear bases, but also military infrastructure as well. I want to look at government and administration targets. We know that there have been several leading officials killed by Israel. Is the next step killing Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, as Netanyahu has spoken about and Trump has reportedly already vetoed once?
I'm not, I mean, they haven't revealed us their bank of objectives, and as Mr. Netanyahu said, everything is open. I don't think that this is the real target. The real target is to conclude the military nuclear program and eliminate the infrastructure, as you rightly say, the launchers, the missile manufacturing. This missile manufacturing is serving the entire proxy or terror proxies of Iran. It's not just Iran using it. It comes from Yemen, the Houthis, the Hamas in Gaza, the Hezbollah in the north, the Iraqi militias. All of them has ammunition made, designed by Iran, and we want to eliminate their capabilities and to, of course, eliminate the more dangerous ammunition, which is the nuclear weapon that they're developing right now.
Yes, and finally, Anat, to bring an end to this shorter discussion, we are running closer to the end of the programme, but I want to look at those next steps now. Of course, global leaders talking about de-escalation, talking about regional stability, but also the impacts geopolitically. We've seen fuel prices rising off the back of this, of course, civilian death as well, an ongoing instability already in the Middle East. Do you think any global calls for a pause or at least a limiting of Israeli strikes potentially on civilian areas will be heeded, or is this just an all-out attack until Iran's nuclear facilities are completely destroyed?
Israel has a clear message. We want to eliminate or stop their development and capabilities. It will be naive to think that we will be able to terminate it via force, and eventually the Iranians should go into the table. U.S. Is trying to, for months, to call them to reach an agreement. So far, they refused. I think that now they'll be more acceptable to give some access to the International Nuclear Commission to observe what they're doing. But I think that the military action was needed, and I truly hope that within a few days we will be able to reach an agreement and a ceasefire. One point to mention: everyone calls Israel for a ceasefire. The joke here is that when we agree to a ceasefire, we cease and the Iran is firing. So we want a real ceasefire with all Iran and their proxies, whether it's the Houthis that continuously send missiles at us, or Hezbollah in the north, which is weakened but still active, and Hamas that is very active in Gaza. And in all those fronts, we look forward to a peace and understanding.
Yes, thank you, Anat. I just want to acknowledge that Iran, have said that their military action has only been retaliatory, and that has come after the attacks from Israel across the country. That confirmation, but I do have some updates to bring you just very briefly before we end the programme. Donald Trump has posted on his Truth Social. I'm just going to read it out for you. He says, "We now have complete and total control of the skies over Iran. Iran had good sky trackers and other defensive equipment, and plenty of it, but it doesn't compare to American-made, conceived and manufactured stuff. Nobody does it better than the good old USA." That Trump's statement somewhat cryptic there, but Trump saying that we now have control, complete and total control over the skies of Iran. Of course, this military operation from Israel, the US distanced themselves from it early on. This statement from Donald Trump could potentially be leaning towards a new US rhetoric over that, but we will bring you those updates as we get them, not just, of course, from this ongoing tension in the Middle East that has involvement from the US in some capacity, whether that's just negotiation, but also from geopolitical leaders like those at the G7 summit. All of those updates coming soon here on NewsX World.